Hello and welcome to the 13th edition of Standards Watch, your trusted weekly update from the Bureau of Indian Standards. I am G. Bhavani, your host for this edition, and I'm here to take you once again through the stories and updates that shape the quality and safety of products, services, and systems we depend on. This week, we are excited to introduce a new segment, Consumer Connect, where we will share the relevant and interesting facts about standards that impact you as a consumer. So stay with us right till the end. Let us begin with this week's top stories. To ensure animal health, comfort, and protection, BIS has developed standards for animal housing and transportation of livestock. Fish feed standards developed by BIS for enhancing good quality fish production. Standards for slaughterhouse design and operations focus on setting norms for infrastructure, equipment, and safe processing of products. Now, after this quick glance, let's delve deep into these stories. Proper housing is a critical factor in enhancing animal productivity, complementing good breeding, nutrition, selection, and disease control. It ensures animal health, comfort, and protection from adverse weather, enabling them to fully utilize their genetic potential and feed for optimal production. To support this, the Bureau of Indian Standards has developed 7 Indian standards for cattle housing covering various dairy farm sizes and for transport of livestock. The standards include These standards stipulate recommended layouts, minimum space requirements per animal, and constructional details such as flooring, roofing, pillars, and drainage systems. Additionally, BIS has established standards for the housing and transportation of other animals, ensuring their health and welfare during transit. Some of the standards are These standards prescribe assessment of health of animals prior to transport, conditions during transit such as temperature and hygiene, feeding requirements, vehicle speed limits, cage design, and the necessity of attendance during transportation. To ensure good quality fish production at minimum cost, BIS has introduced several standards for fish feed for different species like carp, magur, singhi, pangasius, marine carnivorous fish, freshwater prawns, and tilapia. These standards describe the requirement of the method of sampling and tests for different species of fish and specify nutrient requirements at various growth stages, covering aspects like moisture, crude protein, fat and fiber, ash content, absence of antibiotic residues, permissible aflatoxin limits, and packaging norms. BIS has formulated various standards for different categories of fish feeds. This move aims to improve feed quality, ensure safe fish farming practices, and enhance productivity in aquaculture. Some important standards include To improve the maintenance, design and operation of slaughterhouses, BIS has formulated 17 standards that aim to ensure proper handling of carcasses, safe processing of byproducts by setting clear norms for infrastructure, equipment, and operations. Some of the important standards are IS 4393, Basic Requirements for an Abattoir, IS 1982 Ante-mortem and Post-mortem Inspection of Meat Animals Code of Practice, IS 6559 Ante-mortem and Post-mortem Inspection of Poultry Code of Practice, IS 7049 Handling, Processing, Quality Evaluation and Storage of Poultry Code of Practice, IS 8895 Handling, Storage and Transport of Slaughterhouse Byproducts Guidelines. Up next, we bring you other noteworthy developments from the field of standardization. Let's move forward to quick updates.
The real value of the standards reveals itself in the ownership of the standards by the governments at the central and state levels and other stakeholders. The capacity building strategy of BIS is aimed at fostering this sense of ownership. It is enheartening to know that the strategy for the training of the state government officials through structured modules had gathered momentum. A few of the programs merit mention. The Dehradun branch office of BIS in collaboration with the government of Uttarakhand conducted a 2-day capacity building program for officials of the Agriculture Department on 18 and 19 June 2025. The Pune branch office of BIS organized a training program for officers of Ahilya Nagar Municipal Corporation on 19 June 2025. The Nagpur branch office of BIS organized an awareness program on 19 June 2025 for the employees of Water Resources Department on standardization, certification and consumer protection. The Jaipur branch office of BIS organized a hybrid workshop for officials of the Department of Industries and Commerce, Government of Rajasthan on 18 June 2025. Delhi branch office organized government officials training program on 6 June 2025 in Sonipat for officers of the Public Works Department and the Public Health Engineering Department. Additionally, a training program for officials from the Women's and Child Welfare Department was also organized on 13 June 2025. Manak Manthan of BIS, aimed at deepening the process of consultation for standard formulation, has also been getting increased traction across the states. Some important standards covered under the Manak Manthan include: the Chandigarh branch office organized a Manak Manthan on IS 2062 hot rolled medium and high tensile structural steel specification on 20th June 2025. The Vijayawada branch office conducted Manak Manthan on 18th June 2025 on IS 19225 for public bus transport services at Andhra Pradesh State Road Transport Corporation House. The Raipur branch office organized Manak Manthan on 11th June 2025 on the draft Indian standard of reinforcing bars for structural concrete. As part of a new initiative by the Ahmedabad branch office of BIS in collaboration with the Jewelers Association, specially designed posters will be prominently displayed by all partnering jewelers in Ahmedabad to raise awareness among consumers. The Jammu and Kashmir branch office of BIS recently inaugurated 12 BIS student chapters on 19th June 2025 at the National Institute of Technology, Srinagar, aimed at enhancing the role of academia in the development and promotion of standards in India. The Dehradun branch office of BIS successfully organized a training workshop for mentors of student chapters at IIT Roorkee on 20th June 2025. The workshop aimed at sensitizing and orienting the mentors. Branch offices also organized product-specific capsule courses for the industry representatives. For example, the Noida branch office organized a capsule course on shoes for general purpose, and the Hubli branch office successfully organized a 2-day capsule course on irrigation equipment systems on 17th and 18th June 2025. To encourage the involvement of the academia in the standard formulation process, Standardization Department of BIS is organizing sectional committee meetings in the technical institutions. For instance, the Electrotechnical Department of BIS conducted its 25th sectional committee meeting on lifts, escalators and moving walks at IIT Bombay on 24th October 2024. The Services Sector Department of BIS conducted a section committee meeting SSD-10 on IT and enabled services at NIT Sikkim on 8th November 2024. The Petroleum, Coal and Related Products Department of BIS conducted its 30th meeting of the Sectional Committee PCD-6 on bitumen, tar and related products at IIT Roorkee on 19th March 2025. The Metallurgical Department of BIS conducted a Sectional Committee meeting of MTD4 on wrought product at National Institute of Advanced Manufacturing Technology, Ranchi on 19th March 2025. The Management and Systems Department of BIS conducted its 26th meeting on Sectional Committee for Social Responsibility at IIT Roorkee on 19th June 2025. The Chennai branch office of BIS conducted a 2-day mentor reinforcement training program on learning science via standards at Chennai and Vellore on 19th and 20th June 2025.
Time now for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
मेरा जूता है जापानी ये पत। जूते की बात चली है तो एक जरूरी बात जो मैं अपने दर्शकों को बताना चाहूंगा। कंज्यूमर्स को बेहतर क्वालिटी और सेफ्टी देने के लिए देश भर में BIS ने 25 से ज्यादा फुटवेयर प्रोडक्ट्स पर BIS क्वालिटी मार्क मैंडेटरी कर दिया। अब कोई भी इन्हें ब्यूरो ऑफ इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के ISI मार्क के बिना मैन्युफैक्चर, इंपोर्ट और सेल नहीं कर सकता। आप भी अपने पैरों की सुरक्षा के लिए फुटवेयर की खरीदारी करते वक्त BIS का ISI मार्क जरूर देखें। BIS इंस्पायरिंग क्वालिटी।
Welcome back. To promote safer, scalable and sustainable fish farming, BIS has introduced standards for good aquaculture practices. Let's see these developments in the field of aquaculture operations.
Good aquaculture practices, GAQPs, are a set of procedures or practices designed to ensure efficient and sustainable aquaculture production while prioritizing product quality, safety, environmental integrity, and social equity. It encompasses various aspects of aquaculture operations, from biosecurity and animal health to environmental management and social responsibility. A number of standards have been formulated on good aquaculture practices, depending upon breeding, rearing, and harvesting of different species of fish in different types of water environment, like IS 17281 India GAQP on shrimp hatchery and grow-out farms, IS 17282 India GAQP on striped catfish, IS 17283 India GAQP on carps, IS 17284 India GAQP on freshwater prawn culture, IS 17285 India GAQP on cage culture, IS 19091 India GAQP on sea cage farming, IS 19195 India GAQP on marine finfish hatchery requirements, IS 19196 India GAQP on seaweed cultivation. The standards over control points and compliance criteria necessary to be followed by the procedures with respect to location and layout of fish farm, soil and water management, grower record, culture species and system, requirements of seeds, nursery and rearing, grow-out culture practices and post-harvest management, building equipment and other infrastructure, hygiene in farm, personal hygiene and welfare, training to farm personnel, and record keeping. These standards serve as ready reference for professionals involved in breeding, rearing and harvesting of fish, shellfish, algae and other organisms in all types of water environments, which are reliable and safe. Overall, from hatchery to harvest, these BIS standards ensuring safe, sustainable and scalable aquaculture practices.
So these standards are silently shaping efficient and sustainable aquaculture production. Let's discuss them in detail. Time for Standards Talk, where we speak to the panelists. Joining us today are two renowned experts in the field, Dr. Devika Pillai from ICAR and Ms. Priyanka, who will share insights on the good aquaculture practices.
Hello everyone, welcome you all to this Standards Talk. Today we have two experts here with us on good aquaculture practices. Dr. Devika Pillai, Assistant Director General, Fisheries in Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and Ms. Priyanka, Scientist E, Food and Agriculture Department, Bureau of Indian Standard. So Dr. Devika, so as you know, BIS has developed a lot of standards in the field of good aquaculture practices. So could you please highlight the specific aspects of requirements given in marine finfish hatchery requirements?
The Bureau of Indian Standards has developed specific standards for the different aspects. So for marine finfish hatchery as well, they have brought out IS 19195, which specifies all the requirements starting from the setting up of a hatchery to the seed production, which a hatchery operator should know. So when you look at that, it starts from hatchery registration, the site selection, layout, what are the water treatment requirements, the intake water quality, the discharge water quality, and then when you procure brood stock, what should be the requirements for the brood stock and its maintenance, the feed requirements for that, and then the breeding, the induced breeding or natural breeding. So the requirements for its maintenance, and once the seed is produced, the larvae culture requirements and the sale during when you are giving it, so the transport, the packaging, all the requirements are covered in this standard. In addition, all the aquaculture inputs that are given during the hatchery operation are also specified in this manual. So, including the use of the antibiotics, the awareness for the use of antibiotics which should not be used, the banned antibiotics are also given. The importance of biosecurity, which you require to know if you have to prevent diseases, that is also given in the manual. So all aspects which a person should know is given.
So thank you so much, because it's good to know that the Indian standards cover so many aspects. But coming to the broodstock management, so could you please specifically highlight those requirements about broodstock management in shrimp hatchery and grow-out farms?
Shrimp hatchery as well as grow-out ponds, which is very important when you consider the Indian aquaculture scenario, that they have brought out a standard which is 17281, the 2019 edition has all the, as I said earlier, for marine finfish, it gives you all right from the start of site selection, hatchery registration, layout, water treatment, every aspect. When you bring a brood stock, how it should be maintained. When you procure the brood stock, what are the requirements? Disease-free stock, the biosecurity requirements, all these should be planned before the hatchery setup. So the feed requirement, the larval, the live feed requirement, and the entire process, how the feeds should be stored, all these are covered in the manual. Now, it also covers, in addition, it also covers the farming, that is the good aquaculture practice requirements. So that covers the pond preparation, then the soil and water management, the seed quality, what should be the seed quality, and the seed maintenance, the feed that it should be given, the farm management. All those aspects are covered. Now, traceability is a very important aspect for trade. So each and every step that is required for that is also covered in this manual very well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Devika, for giving such a beautiful insight into both the marine finfish hatchery, shrimp hatchery, and grow-out farms. Thank you so much. So there are other Indian standards also when it comes to good aquaculture practices. So Ms. Priyanka, can you just inform us the critical parameters and the requirements in freshwater cage culture and also prawn culture in freshwater?
Yes, BIS has formulated Indian standard, which is IS 17285, which is the good aquaculture practices on the cage culture in freshwater. This standard basically elaborates on the site selection, the cage material which is required, the type of the cage is required, cage fabrication, their procurement, and then the covering the quality of the seed, fish seed, and the covering the requirements during their growth, during the fish growth, then handling, then managing the health of the fish during the growth period prior to the release of the fish.
Correct.
Then the another standard, which is IS 17284, covering the good aquaculture practices on the prawns in the fresh water.
Right.
So basically this standard covers the various practices that has to be followed by the farmers for the production of the prawns in the fresh water, in the pond.
Okay.
And covering the type of the seed, then the pond management, soil and water management, and the health of the prawns during the growth period, stock management, handling and post-harvest handling of the prawns prior to the transportation.
Thank you, Ms. Priyanka. I'm sure these standards will help our fish farmers and other stakeholders in fishery sector a lot. And I'm sure that these standards will be the catalyst for quality culture in fishery sector in our country. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you.
In the headlines, we talked about standards on animal feed. Now, let's understand the importance of these standards in ensuring nutritional balance and improving productivity in this sector.
Animal well-being is dependent on feed that reflects a well-balanced nutrition, which is a source of protein, energy, minerals and vitamins that are vital for normal health, milk production and reproduction for animals. Animal feed comprises cattle feed, buffalo feed, chicken feed, pig feed, pet food for dogs and cats, etc. The standards cover various requirements like moisture, crude protein, crude fiber, acid-insoluble ash, salt, calcium, total phosphorus, available phosphorus, urea, vitamin A, vitamin D3, aflatoxin B1 and cadmium, etc. Packaging method of sampling and tests for animal feeds. Requirements of animal feeding supplements like calcium, amino acid, tryptophan, fatty acids, etc. These standards include IS 2052, Compounded Feeds for Cattle, Specification. It prescribes the requirements and the methods of sampling, tests for compounded cattle feeds for buffaloes, cattle and working bullocks. This standard is mandatory for compliance. IS 18792, Compounded Feed for Buffalo, Specification. The standard covers requirements of ingredients used for manufacturing compounded feed for buffalo, freedom from objectionable and harmful ingredients, requirements of moisture, crude protein, crude fat, crude fiber, acid-insoluble ash, salt, calcium, etc. IS 7472, Pig Feeds, Specification. The standard covers various types of pig feeds like pig starter, creep feed, pig growth metal, pig finishing, breeding meal. Requirements like freedom from harmful constituents, moisture besides the nutritional requirements. IS 1374, Chicken Feeds, Specification. The standard covers 18 types of chicken feeds covering all the nutritional requirements. Maximum prescribed limits for harmful substances. Test methods. Feed ingredients. Specification of raw material, macro and micro minerals have been included. IS 11968, Pet Food for Dogs and Cats. Specification. The standard covers types of pet food for dogs and cats covering all the requirements of moisture, crude protein, total fat, crude fiber, etc. Pet food hygiene requirements to be followed while manufacturing the pet food. Apart from these standards on animal feeds, there are 43 other standards available on test methods for various requirements of animal feeding stuffs. Animal rations have to be balanced in such a way that both good quality materials and agro-industrial byproducts fulfill the nutritional requirements of livestock, because standards ensure healthy feed, healthy herd, and a sustainable future.
And now it's time for our new segment, Consumer Connect, a segment which will help you understand how BIS standards impact your everyday life and choices.
आज मैं आपसे बात करने वाला हूँ बेबी डायपर्स के बारे में। कहने को तो बहुत छोटी सी चीज लगती है, पर आपके बच्चे की सुरक्षा के लिए बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि एक खराब डायपर आपके बच्चे को इरिटेशन और इन्फेक्शन दोनों दे सकता है। तो डायपर खरीदते समय इन 5 महत्वपूर्ण बातों का ध्यान रखें। पहला, डायपर का मटेरियल। आपके बच्चे की त्वचा बहुत ही सॉफ्ट और सेंसिटिव है, इसलिए ये जरूरी है कि जो डायपर है उसका मटेरियल स्किन फ्रेंडली और सॉफ्ट हो। दूसरा, उसका एब्जॉर्प्शन रेट। एक अच्छे डायपर की पहचान है क्विक और इफेक्टिव एब्जॉर्प्शन, ताकि आपका बच्चा नमी से दूर रहे। और ये बात भी ध्यान रखें कि एक डायपर 5 से 6 घंटे के यूसेज के लिए बना होता है, तो इस अंतराल के बाद डायपर बदलना ना भूलें। तीसरा, लीकेज प्रोटेक्शन। आपके बच्चे के डायपर में इलास्टिक बैंड्स और लेग कफ्स होना जरूरी है, ताकि उसमें किसी भी प्रकार का लीकेज ना हो। चौथा, साइजिंग। मार्केट में आपके बच्चे के डेवलपमेंट स्टेज के हिसाब से अलग अलग साइजेस में डायपर्स अवेलेबल हैं। अपने बच्चे के वजन के अनुसार ही डायपर्स खरीदें। पांचवा, क्लियर पैकिंग लेबल्स। आप जो भी डायपर खरीदें उसके पैकेट को ध्यान से देखें। उसमें साइज रिकमेंडेशंस, डायरेक्शन फॉर यूज और प्रॉपर डिस्पोजल मेथड लिखे होने चाहिए। उन्हें ध्यान से पढ़ें और डायपर को यूज करें। और सबसे जरूरी बात, आप जो भी डायपर खरीदें उसके पैकेट में ISI मार्क लगाओ, क्योंकि ISI मार्क ये सुनिश्चित करता है कि आप जो भी डायपर खरीद रहे हैं उसको इन सभी 5 बातों को ध्यान में रख के बनाया गया है, और आपको ये भरोसा दिलाता है कि आपका बच्चा सेफ है, सुरक्षित है।
Before we wrap up, don't forget, you can download the BIS CAR app, or if you would like to know more or need any assistance, email at standardswatch@bis.gov.in. That's it from this week's edition of Standards Watch. We will be back next week with more updates, insightful stories, and conversations from the world of standards. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and goodbye.